and the CEO of Epic. What's up, Rock?
Hey, good morning.
All right, hold on. I gotta make sure the people can hear you, cause I know this your first time on the show, and I know this your first time seeing that I do this thing right. But I fucks up the audio over here. I'm
Okay.
CEO, fuck up the audio. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no doubt about it. So let me ask the chat. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear her? Say hello to the chat, Raushida.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Type one in the chat if y'all can hear before we get started. We don't want to make sure we talking to ourselves. Yeah, we trying to see if they can hear you, man. They'll type one in the chat once it come through. It may be a little delay on it, but then they'll start typing. All right, all right. So they say we are loud and clear.
Great.
First off, how you doing today?
I'm great. I'm great. Every day above ground is good for me.
Every day above ground is good. Is good for you. I'm gonna allow you real quick to introduce yourself. This is the morning show. This is the Rise and Grind morning show where we wake up and get to it. I see you in your office. I'm in my office. So introduce yourself and tell the people what you do.
Well, as Mr. Hockley already explained just a little bit, my name is Raushida Robinson, and I am the CEO of Epic, um, which means Exhaustive Prison Incarceration Criminal Justice Reform. And so, if you don't know what that means, is exactly what it is. It's an acronym for Exhaustive Prison Incarceration Criminal Justice. And what I did and what I still do is I politic. I politic for those before we can get them in the pipeline and possibly when they're coming out of the pipeline. And so, right now, where I am right now in my life, I'm still politicking, but I'm able to politic for our youth because I'm a director at the Boys and Girls Club. And if any of you have put your feet into the Boys and Girls Club inside of Galveston, I'm here, and this is what I'm doing right now.
Okay, at the boys, I learned how to fight at the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah, what
Listen,
what you mean? Y'all still letting the kids get it on? I mean, I had
no,
some of my best squabbles at the Boys and Girls Club. It's still, yeah, it was a little penitentiary rules there when I in the '80s when I was going through there. It was a little, y'all, they still fighting in there.
no. So we do not have the boxing ring. We don't do, we don't promote fighting. We don't promote violence. We actually have respect the club, respect yourself, and respect others, and that's one of the things that we try to make sure that they exhibit here. Our expectations, no rules, just expectations.
Right. Okay. Now I'm teasing, but do y'all still got the hard cards?
We do have the card now. We learned from your day and age that it doesn't make sense to give you guys cards because y'all gonna lose them.
We gonna lose. Yeah.
But we still have the cards. Again, everybody is welcome here as far as the youth. If you don't know about the Boys and Girls Club, we service from 6 years old up until 18. So even if they're still in high school and they're in school up until 18, we'll still take them. And I am actually the team director, which means that I am hands on with teams every day, every day.
every day doing the work, put in the work. Okay. So what I did was we did an interview with Randy, and me
Mhm.
and you been knowing each other in the community. We know each other history. We not only do we know each other, we have friends, we have family, we have all this stuff. And then you got to meet Randy once he
Mhm.
came home from prison by coming here into the shop and realized that Randy was in my life and that I was helping Randy. Quick question: did you know Randy prior to meeting him?
I didn't know Randy when we were younger as
Okay.
children, but once I started doing the research and just reading up on him, it told me just a little bit about where he come from again, where we come from. So it was like a
Right.
hit and miss. He was already gone when we were, you know,
Yeah, when we when,
touching
when
those
we was
bases.
younger. So,
Yeah.
quick question. This is my question. What made you gravitate to his story? What made you want to document his experiences, and what made you want to interview him?
Well, for me at the time, and still right now, I still politic for those that are in the pipeline system. And what gravitated me to his story was that he was a child at the time, and the pipeline, the system failed him. And so, till this day, the system is failing our black and brown babies. And he was failed by the system. And what I did and my epic is to highlight the pipeline system, to bring awareness and to keep our younger youth out of that pipeline system. But because he was already in it, he endured it, he did what he had to do to get through it. I wanted to meet with him because that's important. Because these younger youth need to know, like, that's not a route that you want to go.
Right. Right.
And I wanted them to see it through his eyes, even if they couldn't see it through his eyes, but if he could touch on something that would help them just to slow them down and to, again, to bring awareness because nobody wants to talk about it, right? We only talk about it when our kid is in the system. But if
Right.
we talk about it before then we can kind of beat it before it happens.
Right. That makes perfect sense. A lot of people liked it, that interview. A lot of people spoke on it. Real quick to the chat. If anybody have any questions, y'all could put y'all questions in the chat, and I'll bring them up on the screen so she can answer it. Or y'all could call the number on the screen. I know Miss Sitting in the Tree really liked it, the interview. She commented on every interview, and she thought it was great. That the interview went on and things like
Hmm.
that. So let me put the number in the chat,
Okay.
right? So they could call or they could put their questions in the chat.
And feel free to ask me questions about the interview. Um, I appreciate again Mr. Hockley just being a vessel to our community. I said that in the interview, and I still say it now, being a big brother to those that are surrounding him and those that he has helped with his leadership. Like, shout out to him and what he does because not only was I somebody that met Mr. Randy, but he already knew Randy and he knew what Randy was enduring because he had endured it himself. And I like the fact that he helped him with his leadership. Like, yeah, we've been through this, but this is what we can do to get out of it. And it's a mindset. And so a lot of them, what I wanted to also bring awareness is that when they come back into society, there's nothing for them. And Robert gave him a home. When I say gave him a home, meaning mentally, physically, and probably socially. At a job, just giving him a home, something that was something solid. Because when they come home, they don't have anything for themselves, and so they left to get back out there in the streets. And so Robert gave him an opportunity that said, "You don't have to do that. Your future can start over here, right? But you got to endure it. You still got to endure it." And I
Right.
like that about the fact that he gave him a solid stability place to build where he's at now. And
Yeah,
so
they
again,
think I'm a troll on here though. They think I'm a troll. They think I'm a troll and I be faking. Yeah, they look. They think I'm a troll. They think I be lying. They think I be faking. They think, you know what I'm saying, because they just can't believe that somebody that was in prison, somebody that was in gangs, right, is actually doing what they say they do. So on YouTube, I'm a troll. You know what I'm saying? They talk about me. They be hating on me. They think I be bullshitting. The toy drive is fake. What I do in the community is fake. What I own is fake. On YouTube, everything is fake for them, and I get a kick out of it because I done the work.
well, nothing about greatness comes without a little push,
Right.
and all they doing is pushing you closer and closer to your greatness. And that's what I appreciate about you being in the position that you're in because when you humble, that's all God. You don't have to let them keep doing their job because all they doing every time they click on your show or click on it just for a second, they're giving you that view. So
Yeah.
thank y'all for watching him. Thank y'all for calling him a troll because he gonna keep on going. He gonna keep on motivating. It's just where y'all at with it.
Yeah, it's where they at with it, man. So
Hmm.
hold on, let me see something real quick, man. Get some things going, man. Again, I appreciate you coming on the show. Real quick,
Absolutely.
real quick. Let's say this. You kind of told us what you're doing right now. You kind of told us what you did with Randy and how they worked out with you. Now, in the Randy interview, you had some kids in there, right? It was some
Hmm.
kids in the interview, right? Let's see if we can
Correct.
pull that up. Let's pull that up real quick.
How did you?
So I guess my question is, right? These are the kids, right?
Hmm.
Hold on.
How did you cope with motivation when you were young? The streets was my motivation.
Okay, so they asked, how did you cope with the motivation when you was young, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting in the tree, got this question for you. She say, what would you say the remedy or be to the pipeline issue, especially since Randy mentioned his mother had to work a lot and couldn't be there like he needed. So if you had to say, not just in Randy's situation, she's saying what would you say with your work and your years of doing this and working around kids are some of the things that will keep kids from being a part of the system?
Ooh, Miss sitting in the tree. Let me tell you something. That is a deep and that is a question that is continued. There is no real remedy because parents have to work. Fathers have to provide. The absenteeism of parents. What I do Monday through Friday, I tell the parents all the time we're co-parenting because it naturally does take a village. And that's not anything that anybody should sleep on. I remember back in the days, you used to have your neighbor that would correct the child. Nowadays, you can't even say nothing. You got to turn an eye, right? Well, for me, I don't turn an eye. If I see something, I'm going to say something. And whatever position that they may put me in will put me in that right position because I might be saving somebody. But I'm gonna answer your question. There's not a real remedy to that. But in the sense of where Mr. Randy didn't have his mom and she had to work and she had to provide, there was nobody there to help him with his mental. And a lot of times when they are youth, we don't know how. And I say we because we were all youth. We don't know how to express our emotional. We don't know how to say I need help. And so there was a cry for help that his mother, and no shade to his mama, because guess what? All love to mothers. But she didn't understand. And because she was so into work and providing and being a caregiver, that she wasn't even able to see his cry. But again, as parents back in the
Nothing on that
day,
side.
there was a limitation
Yeah,
of
you
what
ain't
we
just
could do,
skip
what
over the
they
floor.
could do. So being able to identify if my child needed help or if my child is crying out for help, they didn't have time for that.
Nah.
But it was either go outside or stay inside. And so half of the time, all the kids was always outside. Everybody was always outside. And so you never knew what come with being outside. But outside, there's a village and the time has changed. So I can't say if there's a real remedy to help that or to fix that, but there's people like myself, there's people like Robert, there's people probably like you that will get involved, and we need more people to stay involved and be consistent when it comes to it. And so um there wasn't somebody back then that could grab him and say, "Hey, do this," or "Hey, let me help you with this," or "Hey, are you having a good day?" Because that helps a whole lot. And so there's not really a remedy, but there's a we can just keep bringing awareness to it. Like
Right.
we just can't fail our children, right? But we also can't let the system take our kids either. So if there's somewhere in there where you see that you can advocate, advocate. And
Right.
that's what I decided to do. I wanted to advocate, and I'm constantly advocating. And whether that be in my role as a director here with our youth, or whether that be outside of the community, I'm still going to advocate for what's right and for what's wrong.
I got a quick thing to add to that. And what she basically saying is, growing up, that's the same thing. Randy mother and my mother are the same people. You know what I'm saying? They are trying to work and we are running the streets. And what are you, it's called a cycle of poverty, right? So
Mhm.
the poverty cycle is that you are working, taking time away from your kids and raising your kids, and they are left prone to Facebook, YouTube, social media, TV, and all these different things are raising them. So in Randy's scenario back then, that was happening, and it still happens. It's a cycle of poverty that happens over and over and over again. And to help Miss Sitting in the Tree understand what you are saying is like this. Okay, there's a mother right now. Randy mother still exists, and another young mother right now that is
Mhm.
working every day that can't watch her kid. TikTok is raising her kid. YouTube is raising her kid. TV is raising her kid. Music is raising her kid. And what Raushida is saying is outside of the mother is places like the Boys and the Girl Club And what she's doing as the director, as an advocate in the community, to try to fill in the gap when you can.
Yes.
You got to fill in the gap because this cycle exists and it's a very vicious cycle that continues. So in other words, help kids because we know their parents, just like you, are struggling. Even when they look like they are doing great and doing good, people are helping me with my kids. It takes a village. You know what I'm saying? Randy, mother of my mother, shouldn't have been able to do that alone. If they are doing it alone, it ain't gonna work.
That's right.
The cycle continues. So she's saying there's no remedy other than do your part.
That's right.
And it doesn't have to be finding somebody like Randy you don't know. It may be helping your nieces or your nephews. It may be helping the people around you, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's what she mean by do your part. Try to balance the scale because negativity it's a whole bunch of negativity, right? And it's very little positivity. So just do your part to add to that. Moving on real quick, we got another question. True Blue on 84 says, I've been in Fifth Ward Enrichment Program, YMCAs, and still failed, but had to go back in the end when I got tired of jails, TDC, and so forth. Yeah, so right there, I guess he's saying that same way like me. I went to the Boys and Girls Club. My mama forced me to go to church, and I still end up in prison. Well, the mere fact that you went on your way and you found your way didn't work, you came back to the way that actually worked. You just wasn't ready for the information when you was younger. But you yourself said that you found your way back. So imagine if that program didn't exist at all.
Yeah.
Imagine if you didn't go there at all, right? Man, you would have had nothing to come back to. You would have had no center or no reasoning to even come back to. And that would have made the world even worse. So it ain't so much that it fixes the problem. It adds to the solution. It shows you the other side. But it's solely your decision. Can't nobody save you. Look, CEO Hockley can't save nobody. But you are responsible for saving yourself. Everybody is responsible for saving themselves. And what those programs did was to try to show you a way. At the time, you wasn't prepared for it. At the time, I wasn't prepared for it, right? But you came back around once you was ready. And that's what the programs are for. And maybe you could help other kids or other people, right? And introduce them to the programs and introduce them to the truth.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. You got a point right there. So,
my second question is public servants positions pay salary is kind of low. So for those that have other careers, what would you advise regarding the importance of getting more politically involved? Okay, you'll be great to answer that question because you also ran for mayor, you ran for city council. So what she asking is this: hey, I have a career. I'm not in the social world, right? I'm not at the Boys and Girls Club, right? I have a career. I'm a nurse. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm this, right? I have money. I have resources. How can I politically get involved to help you get more funding and get this? Explain the political aspect of them for them because you can.
Well, that's a good question. So for me, you know what? I cannot get through this interview or any other interview without giving God the glory. And I say that because none of me would be anything without me following the assignment that he gave me. And sis, if that's an assignment that is on your heart, then you got to get up and you got to wake up to that assignment and don't fail that lesson because it's a lesson in it. And so at some point in my life, a little bit after I did the interview with Randy, I was called to do something higher. And I ran for mayor in 2021. Well, I ran for city council first, then I ran for mayor in Lamarck, right here where Hockley is in 2021. And so when people always ask me, well, did you win? Did you win? Yes, I won, but I didn't win by numbers, right? I won because I got up there and I made my peace with what I wanted to do. I made sure that my objective of my assignment was out there and that people understood that I was no longer going to be quiet about our community. I was no longer going to be quiet about our youth doing long times in prison. I was no longer going to be quiet because they think that we are dumb And when I say we, meaning I'm a African black woman, yes, I'm Hispanic and black, but they think that we are not supposed to be educated enough. But let me tell you, education is wealth, sis. So educate yourself with those that are around you in your community and get involved in how you can help. It's not a lower level of where you can start from. There's not a lower level, because the only level that you can start from is from your heart. So that's a high level of starting, because you got to follow that assignment. But to be completely on point, follow your objective. Look in your local area, see where you can be a help. Volunteer. Like, volunteerism is so important. Miss Carol Freeman, who was volunteering here at the Boys and Girls Club for over 25, 30 years, didn't get paid a dime. Do you hear me? But volunteered every day, gave her devotion and her time to the Boys and Girls Club, and now they have a scholarship in her name. But my point is that she volunteered her time, her service, and she had kids. She had kids like me, myself, that went to school with us, but she still volunteered her time. And like you said, for mothers that have to go to work, well, this sister answered the calling that was higher than her, that was saying, go volunteer your time to help get these kids to where they need to be. Guess what? Lesson learned. She did that. And that's where I'm at. And I'm advising you and anybody else that's watching that. Listen to your heart, follow your mind, and get up there and wake up and do it. Don't wait for nobody to come in your life and say, hey, go do this. Because if it's on you, then it's already in you. You just got to get up and do it.
Both of my daughters graduated. The shit.
Robertson, another conversation, but y'all can hear me. Let me tell you something. God is good. And whenever you follow an assignment of helping the youth, helping your community, you can never go wrong with that. You can't go wrong. You can only go right.
Yeah, nah, man. I had, people support the channel. People stopping by. That was D.
Absolutely.
He wanted to say salute to everybody, but I told him you was giving your spiel. But then again, like I always say, man, it's about taking care of business. It's about spreading the truth. It's about spreading the knowledge. And we've been doing the work. I'm going to interview some more people from Galveston County. Again, people ask me why my people from Galveston County ain't on here. I'm like, listen, man, I'm over here fucking with y'all and messing with these people over here. And these people think I'm fake. And I'm like, if I bring Galveston County on here, it's going to be unfair. So I'm trying to give them a chance to get to know me before I start bringing all the resources and all the people up here, man. I'm trying.
Well, everybody ain't doers like us, so that's why you get more of the, oh, he fake, he trolling, he this and that. That's because they got unrealistic, they delusional. And I might be wrong for saying this, and I don't care. Put it's on record right now. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you, and sometimes you gotta say fuck them people and keep doing what you're doing, because again, the call is bigger than us, and you gotta answer to it. So them people again.
Yeah.
them the ones that ain't believers, and you're gonna have to keep making believers out of them. You just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
but I gotta tell myself the same thing too.
If you don't know, you know better than all of them, man. I'm gonna make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna make it do what it do every time. So before we go, I know you still gonna be watching the show. Is there anything you want to leave the people with before we get out of here? I'm gonna let you leave the people with whatever you need to leave them with.
I listen, God, just know this little thing right here in my office. You see it right there? Right there. That right there is the best thing that you can do for yourself. And that's think, right? Because when you use this, it can't fail you. But if you're not educated enough, educate yourself to get out there and to become a doer. And if you're still not doing, then start with yourself. Because you can only work with yourself before you work with others. And again, shout out to my boy, shout out to 409, shout out to Galveston County and those that are watching. Again, keep watching. I'm doing great things. Oh, and by the way, let me put that out there. I just won Houston Business Journal Award for Women Who Mean Business for 2023.
Put that out there. What's your social handles? Put those out there.
So my social handle on Instagram, of course, is rock. It's ROCC__rock. And then on Facebook, y'all need to follow me on Facebook. But on Instagram, for sure on Instagram.
What you mean they don't need to follow you on Facebook? What they say?
Nah. No, no, no. See, that's where you call controlling your environment. Okay,
Okay,
so
I
I
got
don't
you.
need them on my Facebook. Now they can join me on Instagram where we have fun and talk shit, but they don't need to be on my, my Facebook. However, again, keep doing the good work.
Jazz, say what's up. You got Jazz in the building. She say what's up.
What's up, Jazz? What's up, Jazz? So
Yeah, she
again,
said.
we out here doing great things for our community, and man, we just gotta stay pumped.
Okay, do
Consistency is
this.
everything.
Can you do this, right? Because I really want people to follow you and people to know. Can you type your Instagram or copy and paste your Instagram into the chat?
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah, that way they know where to follow you. That way they know where to keep up with you at. That way, people know what's going on.
And I'm always doing live content. I'm always doing videos. I'm always talking. I'm not every morning like Robert, but I'm always giving some feed. I'm always dropping
Yeah, I'm
nuggets.
thugging. I'm in these YouTube
Yeah.
streets. I ain't doing no playing. I'm in these YouTube streets thugging. They know what time it is. They waiting for me to show up. When I show up, can't nobody sell their content. Can't nobody push their content once it's the same way like on the block. I'm the only one moving rocks when I show up, man. This what time it is. I'm taking over. I got that street mentality.
Yeah, and so that's where you beating them at because again, I'm not saying you got to have a street mentality to be in this game. What I'm saying is that education is wealth. Educate yourself so that you can get some coin, okay?
Right.
And it doesn't mean that you got to be doing what Hockley's doing. That doesn't mean that you got to go and become the director of the Boys and Girls Club. But that means is educate yourself because that's knowledge, and knowledge is wealth. So educate yourself enough to know if you want to get some money, you got to educate yourself for something. I don't care where you're at.
Facts. You got to educate yourself and be willing to put it down. But
That's
again,
right.
Man, we'll be preaching to the goddamn choir to the end of time before they
And
really
if you happen to
understand
follow
and
me
get
on
this.
Instagram today, I will accept your request.
Also, your Instagram is private.
No.
Okay, well hold up. Let's pull it up. Let's
Hold
put
on,
that
let
in
me
the
see.
chat.
Matter of fact, it might not be private. I could be lying.
I think I got it. I
I
got
think
it.
you on mine though.
I got it right here, and I'm finna put it in the chat. And I'm finna.
And it is for grown folks. So let me tell you, don't come on there with no childish stuff, because you will.
That is right there. I just dropped it in the chat, y'all. Y'all can click on the chat, and y'all can follow her on Instagram, man. I appreciate you tapping in. Keep doing the work
Absolutely.
that you're doing, and I'm gonna keep doing this thing here. You always welcome on the show. You could tune in every morning right here, and I just talk a whole bunch of shit. These YouTube streets belong to me, CEO Hockley in the goddamn building.
Absolutely, my
Yeah,
boy.
this
You
my
better call
goddamn
that boy
streets.
said these YouTube streets belong to me.
Yeah, they
That's what I'm
belong to
talking
me.
about.
They belong to me when I'm on this motherfucker. I ain't worried about
Absolutely.
no trolls or
Absolutely.
nothing. Bobby Supreme called. I don't care nothing. Listen, y'all can't shame me. If you knew my story and knew where I came from, I can't lose at this point. At this
That's
point
right.
in time, I can't lose. Y'all too late for the shame show. Y'all should have came 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Party over with,
Facts.
man. Yes.
Facts.
So
And another thing, keep the hope alive. So y'all make sure that y'all pour out to this Hope Foundation that he does every year. He smashes it with the gifts. Come out, rap them, do whatever you got to do. Like get involved. Sis that wanted to ask, how do you get involved? Come out and find out. Put yourself in a room of people that are winning. That's how you win.
just like that, and we gonna leave with that, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.